Hello! Welcome to the stream. It's Food Friday, and we're going to be making food for me and several others. What are we doing today? We're doing Oreo truffles. What is an Oreo truffle, you might ask? It's a freaking delicious concoction of cream cheese, crushed up cookies, coated in chocolate. It's really easy. I decided I wanted to do this one today because I wanted a little bit of a break. It's kind of like the very first one where I made stuff out of a box mix, except this one is being made out of pre-made cookies and pre-made chocolate and pre-made cheese. But it's going to be amazing. Also, the other reason that I wanted to do this one is because I wanted to show off where I first found this recipe from. Like, I'm sure this recipe's been around for like ever, but there was a Tumblr once upon a time called Forking Recipes. As you can see, it says forking right there, and the style that this Tumblr blog was written in was very over the top. I'll read the intro when I have the gigantic, enormous break that's going to take to harden up the cookie cheese mixture. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this book, but we're going to jump right into the actual making of stuff process. Switch these cameras back over. Boom! Awesome. All right. So, but I will read the recipe verbatim, mostly verbatim, because again, the writing style of the book is 90% of why I got it. I've had this thing since it came out. I think, which is almost, I think it was like 8 years ago. When was this made? 2013. Yeah. So this has been in our household for a while. And I just find it hilarious. Okay, so Oreo truffles. What do you need? You need Oreos. These are not actually Oreos, but it's fine because they taste the same once you crush them up. Cream cheese, which I definitely took out in time. Did not forget to take that out so that it would reach room temperature and be easier to mix up. I would never do that. That would be horrible and terrible. And then chocolate chips. We're going to be using dark chocolate because I love dark chocolate. I think it adds a little bit of a to the thing versus like milk chocolate or semi-sweet. All right, so Oreo truffles. Want to automatically become everyone's favorite person? Win their goddamn hearts over with some sweet-ass Oreo truffles that melt in your mouth like eyeballs after witnessing an angel's true form? I think the answer is pretty clear on that. First, you need to obtain one standard package of Oreo cookies, which we have here. If you feel you gotta be fancy, you could use one of those flavored kinds. I'm not forcing you to do anything. Whatever. The package is 3 rows. Oh, so we gotta open this shit up. Okay, hold on. Oh, God. There we go. Oh, voila. The package has 3 rows of these tasty bastards. Remove 2.5 rows of these babies and place them tenderly into a gallon-sized freezer bag. Now, ordinarily, this would be the part where I'd say, you know, I'm going to just put these into a food processor because it's easier. And just tilt this a little bit so it's actually where I'm standing. All right. But no. No, today we're going to do everything by the book, primarily because I think it's going to be more fun to do so. So 2.5 of these. I'm relatively sure that the standard size is the size that's not family size. I feel like that's what I've done in the past, and that's definitely what we're doing now. Also, doing it this way without the food processor is going to be more accurate to the way that we made them the very first time, because I don't think we actually had a food processor the first time I made these. Okay, and how many we got in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So another 6. 3 to you. 3 to you. Downsized bag. All right. And then what do we do with the last 6? Probably just stick them in your mouth. All right. Next, clear some space on your sturdiest table and remove any fragile or valuable items from the immediate area because shit is about to get real. Using a kitchen hammer or just your rock-hard fists, smash the non-chill ones down until they are pulverized into tiny crumbs and screaming for mercy. Do not give it to them. They are going to a much better place, so shed no tears for them. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use our fists to beat the crap out of these. Let me see if I can rotate this camera ever so slightly to get a better view of the smashing process. Get as much air out of this as we can. Seal it tightly. Alright. And then we just bash it. Bash it as hard as we can and clip the microphone a little bit. Omae wa mou shinderu. Just give it a little bit of a massage, it's fine. Oh, we got comments. Hi, Nordic Queen. How are you? I can't remember. Have I ever? You still lived here when I made these for that one Friday thing. When I brought like the 4 different varieties. Oh yeah, that's right. Hold on, I'm gonna have to find that. There was so once upon a time. See, here's the thing about this recipe. It's very malleable. You can put like it mentioned, you can use different flavors of Oreos. You can use different flavors of like chocolate coating. So once upon a time, for this group event, I was like, I'm gonna make 4 different varieties of these, and I made one with lemon Oreos with white chocolate around them, one with mint Oreos with dark chocolate around them, one with the peanut butter Oreos, which are delicious, and I think those had semi-sweet. It was either semi-sweet or milk chocolate around them. The last one was like Nutella. Well, it was hazelnut. And those had the other one. I can't remember which one had which on it, but all of them were great. The lemon ones turned out way better than I expected, and I think those kind of went first. How ground up is this? Is this ground up enough? It's getting there. It's pretty close. Turn it back on, phone. Alright, so here we have some nice crushed out. You can barely tell that there was ever any cream in them whatsoever. This should be about enough. It looks crumb-like enough. Like there's probably some giant pieces still here. We shake it like this. Fun fact, if you have unevenly distributed sizes of things, shaking it will make the smaller ones go to the bottom. Just based on size. There we go. All right, so it's a pretty good job of crushing, if I do say so myself. All right, let's open this book back up. Okay, next, take an 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, warmed to room temperature, which I definitely totally super duper did. Like, it feels soft enough. This feels soft enough, but that might just be because it was at one point in time frozen and is now not frozen anymore. But I'm pretty sure this will be fine. It'll be fine, especially because we got the stand mixer here. All right, did have warm to room temperature, and place it into a large mixing bowl. Add the pulverized cookies to the bowl and mix them into the cream cheese until they form a dough as black as the hearts of your enemies. All right. Now, I don't really have a lot of enemies to speak of, but if I did... Shillelagh! Hello, Shillelagh. How are you doing today? We're making Oreo truffles. Oh, they're delicious. Look at these cookies. They're all crushed with my fists. I used them to crush the cookies. And now they're crumbs. And now, wait. Cheese. The cheese is hidden. Okay, we found the cheese. Nobody panic. Now, I'm actually using crappy cream cheese today. By which I mean generic store brand, great value, Walmart cream cheese. And the main reason I'm doing that is because A, we had it available. Like we've back. Oh my god, this is gonna date this. So this has been frozen, I think, since sometime last year. Oh my. Hello. How are you doing? Yeah, this is the same cream cheese that was used in the frosting that I made for the monster cake. Yeah, it was frozen, and we recently unfroze it for the purpose of using. But like, we were like, oh, let's just stock up on stuff because who knows how long quarantine's gonna last. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. But yeah, since I'm not actually baking a cheesecake, which let me wipe my hands up. When baking a cheesecake is when I insist on using Philly. Any other time, it's like just use whatever's available. It'll be fine, probably. That might be a huge mistake. but we'll find out. That is some good cookie fist crushing. Thank you. I pride myself on my ability to fist things until they crumble. True story. All right, so I guess maybe there we go. Just mix that a bit so it gets all nice and goopy. And slowly mix this in. This is a lot more Oreo than cream cheese by weight, it looks like to me. But it's fine, as long as it all incorporates well. That's what really matters. Oh, it is slowing down. Yeah, not enough Oreos yet. It is not yet as black as the hearts of my enemies. It is not as black as the heart of that guy that Caliph strangled with the bow. Oh, it's getting there, though. It's kind of a brownish now. There we go. Alright. Just keep on mixing a little bit more. I may actually put on some of the disposable gloves for the ball forming process. Yeah, Link Cake! I can't remember, were you here last time when that was actually first available? It was a whole 3 days ago. Oh my gosh, my memory. Alright, so once again, this is not quite as black as the hearts of my enemies, but it is very brown. I mean, it looks blacker on the screen, so that's nice. His heart will be even blacker because he's dead. Yes, Whitty says that she wants to redo it. I think it looks fantastic, but if she wants to redo it, I won't stop her. She is the artistic genius of this collaboration, so I trust her judgment on all things art-related. I asked her for advice on all the things that I've been drawing, none of which are as good as hers or yours, Shillelagh. Remind me, how long have you been doing art? I seem to remember it was a decent span of time. The funny thing, because like when you first showed me the Caliph picture, like I hadn't seen anything that you'd done before, so I had like no bar of expectation for it, and you kept on like downplaying, in my opinion, like the hype level it was going to be. You're like, oh, this is probably not going to be as good as I'm making it sound like. I'm like, okay, well, whatever you say. And then it's like, oh my god, that's awesome. That's totally awesome. Holy crap. Do more art, please. I don't know what there would be to redo. It am so small and nice. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it looks great. I will say, though, that, like, the biggest version of it, some of the transparency looks a little bit questionable, but, like, I don't know under what circumstance it shows up like that. All right. Oh, it smells like Oreos. Super Oreo smell. Can you see this? Oh, yeah. So brown and good. I don't actually remember regarding how long you've been drawing. Well, I mean, has it been 5 years? Has it been 10 years? Has it been 20? How about 40? Has it been 40 years? How about it's been 50 years, hasn't it? I'll bet it's been 50 years. You can't fool me. You've been drawing for 50 years. All right, let me just put you here, right on the burner. That's where you go. That'll be safe. Okay, stay right there. Been into it since I was a kid. Used to burn through sketchbooks every month. See, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, how long ago were you a kid? I don't know the answer to these questions, but again, it's longer than I've been doing stuff. All right, so hold on. Next step in this process. Okay. Roll this dough into balls a little smaller than an inch across. You don't want them to be too big. Just make them about bite size. Take these little shits to the Arctic, or put them into your fridge for about an hour so they can get more... Oh, a fridge, not freezer. Do I have room in the fridge? I cleared out room in the freezer because I was like, Arctic, that's frozen, right? Let me just move the... What is this? I have no idea what this is. Used to be where the curry lived, but it doesn't live there anymore. Okay, yeah, we got room. 90% sure. If not, I'll move some more stuff around. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, fridge for an hour so they can get more solid. Watch for wild moose. They are known for stealing unfinished truffles. Got to be careful for those moves all the time. Think you could hold a pencil when you were 4. Okay. So that is a turning point. 25 years, but with massive gaps in adult life. I mean, 20. That's still a really long amount of time. Kind of reminds me of Whitty. She mentioned that she also didn't, like, do it as consistently as she could have, I guess, or something like that. I can't remember the specific words that were used when she described it to me. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First off, can I turn the light on here? Light. Where the crap is the light? There it is. Found it. Okay. All right. Probably unnecessary, but we're going to put it there anyway. Also, open up more. Open up more. There we go. Just because these things can get a little sticky, and hopefully they will stick less to the gloves than they would to my actual hands. Darkness cookies. Hello, cookies, my old friend. I've come to roll you into balls again. I can't remember how many of these normally make. I do remember one of the reasons that I made 4 batches when I made them for that one event is because I wanted there to be enough for everybody who was going to be there. So, yeah. See, I imagine they're probably going to make somewhere between, let's see, 12, 24, 30. They're probably going to make around 30 because I think normally when I've made these in the past, see, if I wanted to be real anal, I could weigh them out. Wanted to be like my usual self. But I think we're going to not maybe do that today. This is not the most sturdy because the bowl's bottom is just small enough to be able to not rest on the little intersection, but it's also just big enough to not be able to fit into the thing. So it's not gonna. It's just gonna flop around. Maybe here's the best place to put it. All right. All right. So let's grab some balls, shall we? No, turn back on. Oh God. I have to lean in this way. Okay. First Art loves creature design and pretty much always has been. That's why you love designing strange D&D creatures. And you relate regarding Whitty not drawing consistently. A lot of things got in the way over the year. But now you're back! Back from outer space. Yes, that's what we like to hear. Okay, so hold on. Okay, I feel like they're generally speaking about this big. Because when I have these things, it says bite size, but I personally am a fan of kind of having a 2-bite situation. I find 2 bites to be better than 1. More enjoyable. It's like you get to chomp into it and be like, ooh, look at the delicious innards of this truffle. So delectable. Fantastic. So yeah, we're just going to roll these up. Is this blocking? It is a little bit blocking. What if I move this over? What if I swap? Ah, see? Move this like this. Now you can actually see the things, sort of. There wasn't this door handle in the way. How about we do this? We'll put them over here on this side. Very unlikely that it'll just fall onto the floor with me standing here, right? Pretty sure that's the case. All right, that one's a little bit big. Actually, this one's also a little bit big now that I think about it. See, this is why I normally weigh things, guys. Your ears are burning. What's this about you being wildly inconsistent? I didn't say wildly inconsistent. I said that you had mentioned that when I was like, oh, how long have you been drawing? And you like, how long did it take you to get this good? And you're like, you've been drawing for such and such amount of time, but you weren't consistent at it the whole time, like throughout your entire life, like, or as consistent as you could have been or something. Like there were swaths of time that you weren't drawing. At least that's what you made it sound like I thought. Correct me if I'm incorrect. Ah, yes, this is true. Okay, good. I'm not a liar. Thank God. I would hate to be a liar, especially when talking about you, because you deserve to have the truth and nothing but the truth said about you. Da-na-na-na. Look at these things. They're so cute. They're so adorable. Oh, I almost wish I had bought more things so I could make more of them. We have enough cream cheese to make more, and we have enough chocolate. I actually bought 2 bags of chocolate because, well, so, alright, here's the thing. Whenever I've made these in the past, I've had an issue with them kind of seizing the chocolate during the coating phase, which is not great, necessarily. But I think I know why that's been happening, and I think I know what to do. I think I've honestly just been overheating the chocolate. So if I just keep an eye on the temperature while I'm coating these things, I think it'll probably just be fine. Yeah, I think the longest gap I've had was like 6 years. Wow. After 2 years of art school. You know, I've only ever taken one art class. It was back when I was going to college for video game design. And the thing about that class is that our teacher could not teach art. He could do art. Like, he was a great artist. But he was a shitty teacher. He could not teach at all. He was also a very peculiar individual. I remember there was a story that I think we weren't supposed to be told this story. The department head for the game design course, he was talking about this guy one time to our class, and I don't remember what brought it up, but like I think our class was just like complaining about him. And he told us this story that this guy ended up, he was like gonna go to some hoity-toity art-related like award thing or something. I think it was like winning something, like it was off in New York. So he flew there, but he like didn't bring any extra clothing or something. Like, this is the kind of guy this person was. He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna absent-mindedly forget common sense things because, you know, it's like, what the heck, man?
Did you feel burnt out after the art school? Lol, regarding can't teach art. There's so many teachers like that.
Yeah, right. Actually, come to think of it, this was the only drawing class. I took another art class in college, but it wasn't necessarily for creating art. It was a Photoshop class. So that's where I learned how to use Photoshop and why I can kind of use Photoshop today. Because I learned how to do it. I remember in high school we had a knockoff Photoshop variant called, oh God, what was it called? It started with a U. It wasn't Unreal. Unreal's a game engine. I think it was called like U-Lead or something? Something like that. Someone sanity check me? Photo Impact. I think it was U-Lead Photo Impact, maybe? Is what it was called. It was very similar to Photoshop, but like some things were different. And I remember at one point trying to use Photoshop after using that, and I'm like, I don't know what are the features. The features are different and weird and scary, and I don't like them. So it took me a while to actually get into Photoshop, but then I was, taught how to do it, so everything was fine. Like that. How many we got? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15. Okay, so we got 15 so far. I don't know that we're going to make up to 30. We'll make as many as we can. It'll be fine. As long as I have 2 dozen, that's all that matters to me because, well, maybe a little bit more than 2 dozen so I can actually have some. But I kind of want to give some of them away. I've got some people in mind. One of them, so we have these neighbors. I say neighbors, they're kind of not super close by. A couple blocks away that we're friendly friends with. And I feel like we have this almost like one-upmanship of generosity thing going on with them. Because they gave us some nice, happy, fun, delicious Christmassy goodies, and we gave them some, and they gave me like this, I think it smells delicious. This delicious smelling soap thing. Just like it happened to be on my birthday. I'm not sure if it was like specifically because of my birthday. But I was like, yeah, here, have this. And I'm like, oh, gee, thanks. Oh, well, take this. It's dessert. You can eat it, and it smells good. You can't wash your hands with it, though. I would not recommend that. Not advisable. But yeah, so I'd like to give some to them. They have enough people to eat them in the household, so it would be put to good use, I think.
Oh my God, there's so much stuff here. Garwood kind of was more like all my professors were like, become an art factory. Do whatever your commissioner asks. You can't afford to choose. Oh God, that's terrible. It doesn't sound like fun. So I think it was less burnout and more overly discouraged. Ugh. Interesting regarding Photoshop class. Did you attend art school? Haha, yeah, the neighbors would love some of these.
They're gonna. They better love them. If they don't love them, I'm gonna judge them harshly.
Took art classes in elementary, middle, high school, but chickened out and did web dev for college because I was discouraged as well.
I don't know if I would consider that chickening out so much as like, just branching off into something else. Plus, is it like web design has a lot of artistic aspects. It's just not, the same as drawing. We're gonna run out of dough. Okay, so we got 5, 10, 15, 20. We might be able to get to 25. I think we can hit 25. That seems like a reasonable goal. This one's a bit small though, so I'm gonna add some to it. Also, side note, these gloves were a great idea. No regrets on the glove front. Oh, that one's still too small. See, now I'm worried about making them too small or too big for... Okay, that's good. That's the right size. Okay, do we have 2 more here? Yeah, we got at least 2. Maybe even 3. Little bit more. Little bit more. Get there. And then this one would be too big. I think actually we're gonna have a little bit more than 25, but not enough to have 26. Interesting. Someone from Nevada is calling me. It is probably a robot, because its number is very, very similar to the number that I have. Alright, is this enough to make another one? I could just make a teeny tiny baby one. Little bitty baby. The littlest truffle. Alright, there we go. Voila! Alright, so now we have all of our Oreo truffles. We're going to put them in the Arctic for an hour. Oh god. Okay, so how am I going to fill an hour, you may ask? I have a couple ideas. Alright, will you fit? Are you going to fit in the thing? Oh, almost. Just about. What if I turn you this way? Will you fit then? Almost. Okay, we're going to move the eggs. Nobody panic. Everything's fine. Eggs go burr. Oh god. Okay, we can panic now. This is not the sturdiest egg container. Alright, there we go. You stay there. You scoot in. There you go. You go right up here. Please don't, break and or fall apart. Alright. Setting a timer for an hour. Oh my gosh. 30, 40, 50, 60. Start. Alright. See, now I'm planning to make my way only taking D&D commissions, at least for now. Someone asked me to draw a creature. It's hard to say no while also working. So take that, starving artist professors. Yeah, I wish you the best of luck with that. Let's see. That's what I was doing last year, except the reverse. So bad at D&D and love creatures. Yeah, all your Pokemon are the most adorable creatures in the world, so I mean, there you go. It was a lot of fun, very fulfilling. Gotcha, regarding web dev, yeah, discouragement is rough, and people spread a lot of dumb stuff about being an artist. And thanks. Okay, so here's the thing. So we got a book here, right? I would like to read some of this book to you in the hour that we have to wait, for 2 reasons. 1, to kill time. 2, because I legitimately love this book. This book is fantastic. Alright, so the introduction here is pretty great. Forking Recipes was inspired by the creator's complete adoration of doing simple things in an overly violent and dramatic manner. Actually, before I do that, let me just do a little bit of magic and go, oh, look, it's me. I'm big now. Awesome. Still nice with the slightly potato cam, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Joop, joop. Okay. Overly violent and dramatic manner. Yes, fantastic. You were deemed no cursing. What? Okay. Fine. I mean, I didn't curse yet, sort of. I mean, I cursed during the actual recipe, but okay. So this will be fun. Thanks a lot for that. Food may have come into play as well, but we can't be sure of that now, can we? This is where any normal ash hole would put their contact information and shirt. We ain't got no time for that. You probably already know that this book is based off the blog Forking Recipes, hosted on the completely majestic blogging site Tumblr, though I have some arguments whether I consider it majestic personally, but that's subjective. Forking Recipes in no way represents any of Tumblr's or Yahoo's Who Knows. Tumblr's views or opinions Likewise, the creator of this book is not associated with CBS, BBC, Hussey, NBC, J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Tolkien, or any of the many other, holy fork, that's a lot of others, people or organizations that are referenced in this book, so on and so forth, etc. Email how to get a hold of them. I suppose if you're desperate to get a hold of the creator of this book, the email is daitoshi112gmail. And the name you can ask the internet for is Alex Graham. Woo boy, good luck with that Google search. I like this part too. Published June 14th, 2013. Again, he would be happy to hear this part. Did you know that publishing is basically just making lots of copies and making them publicly available? No paperwork required. Cool beans. Which, I mean, I guess is technically true. And I got into a lovely conversation with Ginhee last night about how I need to publish the novel drafts that I have finished. Particularly the second most recent one, because she read that one and said she actually liked it a lot. It'll happen eventually. Like, if I have to self-publish, I still need, like, a cover for it. I actually have a new cover idea, Witty. I got to tell you about it later. Or I could tell you about it now if you really want to know. But anyway. So that's the intro. But wait, there's so much more. There's so much more. And beyond the recipes, even.
Not if you want an ISBN. Oh, really? How's that work? I know nothing about this. Yes, please tell me your cover idea. Okay, so the cover idea is this. All right, so you know,
Tell about book. Okay, all right. So the inspiration for this book, I think I was playing Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past at the time, and you know how in the Zelda franchise, and I think this was the first game where you could do this. You can capture fairies and store them in bottles, and then they will heal you later, right? Okay, like if you're about to die. So I thought to myself, well, what if this was like a thing, just like there's a fantasy setting. And like it's become a common practice for fighters to have, fairies that they contract out for this purpose or other purposes. But this was the first one that came to mind. Like somebody is like, okay, it's my job that if you're about to die, I'm going to heal you, and then I peace off. Boom, just like that. So that was the original genesis of the idea. But then the idea transformed. I was like, well, what if there was a character like this fairy that's hired to do this job? And then when she was supposed to leave, for one reason or another, she didn't want to. And then she just stuck by this person. And what if that ended up having a whole bunch of not so great complications for her? And that's the premise of the story. And I was actually generally pretty proud of it, all things considered. But anyway, so the idea for the cover. So, Whitty, if you remember, the main character has that bottle of fire dust that she keeps in the jar that she, like, wears around her neck. So my thought was, instead of the old idea that I told you, what if it was just kind of like a close-up of, like, this area? Like, you can see maybe from, like, here to, like, here. And, like, the glowing jar of the red fiery dust. Just kind of like... Because it's an important, like, I don't want to say MacGuffin, though I guess it's kind of MacGuffin-y in certain sense. But yeah, it would look neat. It would be relevant to the plot. It would be abstract enough to, like, I guess, make a decent book cover. It would be less complicated and time-consuming than, like, the freaking character portraits that I was like, oh, we'll do that. Also, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I haven't sworn since you redeemed the thing. I also don't remember how long it's supposed to last. It's supposed to be, like, 5 to 15 minutes, something like that. But yeah. Yeah, very important platinum. It's like referenced several times throughout the book. I'm not going to spoil things for anyone who's listening who actually maybe someday wants to read it.
Plot relevance is supreme leader? What? Just thought the timing was fun? What? Wait, timing of what? What are we talking about? Oh, I can swear it's okay, I'll forgive you.
No, you redeemed good points for that. It's important that I give the viewers what they want. Like, what is the point of channel points if I'm just going to ignore everything that they say to do? But I think I did a decent job of the good place swearing when I was reading those out. But yeah, so yeah, that's the idea for the thing. Yeah, it's into the publishing. So yeah, got into this big long conversation last night. I do want to get the stuff published. No idea what the cover will be for the second one, and I probably need to revise it more too. But anyway, point is, publishing. Yay, good times. Fun stuff. All right, so there's also, right after the table of contents of this book, is Cooking 101, which has what some people might consider common sense advice. Some people might not. Let's go over them. Always fully read the recipe before starting. this is a good idea. You know why? Because sometimes the recipe tells you to do things that involve things that the recipe didn't tell you you needed up front, which is annoying, and I hate it when that happens, but you can avoid that by just reading the frickin' recipe. Gather your ingredients before starting to mix/heat things. Also super important. This is why it took so long for me to do all the prep stuff during the curry, but it came in handy. And again, the curry turned out great. We have a little bit left. Maybe I could eat some, now, in the next 52 minutes that we have to wait for the stuff to cool down. If you smell burning, get the food the hell away from heat. That's one of the ones I feel is probably common sense. If something's... Oh my gosh, okay. My favorite food catching on fire story. I was making a cheesecake, as I often do, for a friend. I'd actually already made the cheesecake, but there was one more step, because it was a hot cocoa cheesecake. And the last step was to take marshmallows and broil them. Put marshmallows on top of the cheesecake and broil them for a little bit until they got to a certain, doneness. And then, boom, you've got toasted marshmallows on top of your cheesecake that has literal cocoa mixed into it. It actually tasted real good. The problem, I did bad when it came to broiling the marshmallows, and they burst into flames in the oven. That was bad. Nothing else set on fire. We managed to put it out. It was fine. We did not use those marshmallows. They were easy enough to... Actually, no, that's right. It wasn't on top of the cheesecake. You were supposed to broil them, then put them on the cheesecake. So the cheesecake wasn't ruined. That would have been really tragic. But yeah, so that's my favorite things catching on fire story.
I feel called out by these two.
Why do you feel called out by them? Also, what is this link? Hold on.
Let me click this, see what it is. Hello, I thought you did your streaming at 2? What? Yes? 2 my time. 1 your time. I'm pretty sure I've already said that, but I could be wrong. It also should be listed on my, what's it called? The schedule page on my channel. Whoa! Yeah, you've never done that. Witty. You're silly. You're silly and I love you.
You're fantastic. Oh yeah, so that's burning. Okay. Oh, here's one that I didn't do, and Mom can actually call me out for this. Always set a timer. Check timer regularly. I completely overlooked setting the timer last time for the curry, for the potato part. I will fess up to that. That was totally 100% my bad. But it still turned out fine. So who cares? I mean, the thing is, with that one, it's we know what we're looking for, so we'll just check it. If it's something, especially if it's baking. Baking, you definitely want to have timers. Lol, repicture. Yeah, Whitty's got a bunch of cooking disaster pictures, I think, that she either has saved in some meme folder or knows how to find very quickly. Let's see. Double check if ingredients contain your allergens. Very important. You don't want to die. Always airtight seal your leftovers. Sometimes easier said than done. Don't always have airtight sealing things. Tupperware is great, but we mysteriously seem to keep on running out of it. Of course, it doesn't help that I keep giving some away when I make these things and then hand them off to people. Do not use metal on nonstick pans or in microwaves. This one I was oh man. Well, first of all, why would you put anything metal in a microwave? That's just a bad idea. What? I feel like that should go without saying. I don't know if they have non-stick things that aren't made of metal either, so... Yeah, that one's just weird. And it's annoying, because it's anytime something's oh, whisk this thing that's on the stovetop. I have one metal whisk, and I was okay, this isn't going to work for this, so let's buy some silicone whisks. I think I was trying to make caramel at the time. These things freaking melted when I tried to stir them in the caramel. So I needed either a sturdier non-metal whisk, or I need a stainless steel pot to make some of these things that require lots of whisking, because again, metal on non-stick, not good, not smart, not fun. All right, everything cooks at different speeds and at different temperatures. That's what recipes are for, right? That makes sense. Keep your knives sharp as hell. Dull knives make cutting clumsy. Yeah, this is one that's real important, and I am super glad that we actually have this super duper easy thing to sharpen my knives with. Anytime I'm going to be cutting something that I think is going to be a super pain in the butt to cut, I always make sure to sharpen it 5 or 6 times. Here's another common sense one. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Preheating an oven means you let the oven get to a certain temperature before you put anything inside. Preheating is important. Who doesn't know that?
Relevant. Sinn, this is the image I was referencing when talking about how pressure... Oh, dear. Pressure cookers can be dangerous.
I'm afraid to look at this.
How even... Okay, first of all, why is that on top of the stove? So it launched the lid up into the ceiling and also buried the pot into the oven? I almost... Like, what the heck? I wish they'd taken a video of that. That is almost unbelievable.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would happen.
Not gonna lie.
The fourth... Yeah, but how... Okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna question it. I don't know the science. I don't know how many PSI was inside the pressure cooker, nor how it managed to release itself in such a way, but apparently it did. I just hope nobody got hurt in the process. Also, let me just... Hold on real quick. Fill this with some nice hot water to get it starting to be rinsed out so that it doesn't cake to the side of my mixing bowl. Get hotter. Warm yourself. It's normally so easy getting our kitchen sink to be scalding temperatures, but right now it's just slow. There we go, that's better. All right. Spray that down. By the way, Witty, if you would like to lick the paddle clean of any of its truffle inner residue, you know. Oh, what's that? That's the sound of Witty approaching. Amazing.
Yeah, it should never be left unattended. The pressure cookers?
Yeah.
We leave them unattended all the time.
No, because it's a
Don't we?
stovetop one.
Oh, wait, hold.
Okay, read
Oh,
the chat.
Wait, hold on. It's on the stove because traditional pressure cookers are just heated on. Who the what? Why?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible. Who
Yeah.
would do that?
Everyone,
That does not sound smart.
Since that's how
That's
pressure
awful.
cookers were
That's
before.
awful.
That's like
That's
cooking rice on the stove as opposed
bad.
to using a rice cooker.
I mean, sure, but God, no.
you know,
don't.
if cooking rice could cause your house to explode.
Right? I mean, oh, jeez. Okay, well, now we know. Yeah, don't leave anything that's over an open flame unattended. That's just a recipe for disaster. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, speaking of kitchen disasters, the next one it says, it is possible to burn water. Keep an eye on your damn food. Let's see. If a fire starts, smother it with a pot lid or throw lots of salt on it. Never put water on a grease fire. This one I think is not common sense. I think there's a lot of people who don't know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good, very important advice.
We
Everyone
also
should
have
know.
our fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's
Right.
right over there. We've actually got a bunch of those other ones. Yeah, we talked about this on the last stream, I think. Or did we?
I don't know.
No, it might not have been on stream, come to think of it. But yeah. And then the last one right here, follow the forking directions, which is why we decided to punch the cookies instead of put them in the grinder thing. So yeah.
Now you know.
They scary.
They are scary.
They scary indeed. Okay, but wait, there's even more. This book just is the book that keeps on giving.
It's a great book.
Because right at the end we have... Come on. Here we go. Life advice. Did you
yes.
remember this was here?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I had forgotten it was here too. All right, so let's read some of these and
It's been forever since I've read this book.
right? Like I was mentioning that we got this in 2013, like shortly after it came out. It feels like so long ago because it was so long ago. All right, so number one, the first one already is golden. Disposing of a body is fairly easy as long as you're not squeamish. Disavow. Just gonna I mean, it's true, but disavow. Body language is just as or more important than words. Very true.
Very true.
What was it? 95% of communication is nonverbal, something like that. So, yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if that's so much life advice or just a fact. Let's see. It is far more useful to say I made a mistake. I'll try to do better than to say, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just good. That's good. It's good advice. That
Well,
one's actually
it
advice.
does depend on the person, but
How do you mean?
some people want you to just say you're sorry.
Oh, well, could say both.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I mean, but I like the follow-up to this. It says, if you fork something up, try to fix it. If you can't fix it, make it look like you tried.
Yes.
Put in some effort.
Nothing drives me crazier than someone who will just say, I'm sorry, and then do the thing again.
Again, yeah, you're not actually sorry if you keep doing the thing. That, you know what that reminds me of?
Or they don't try and make any kind of restitution.
Like, I am sorry that you are upset by what I'm doing. Isn't that great? Don't you love it when people say that?
I mean, I've said that sometimes.
I am sorry that you are so stupid.
I'm sorry if you were offended.
Right? Oh.
Okay.
You have the right to be offended, and you have the right to offend. That's the way I look at it, personally.
Not to say I've never done that before.
Incidentally, it is also
when
very...
I hate the person's guts and I don't actually want to apologize I just want to...
You don't hate anyone's guts. You're just too full of love and understanding and acceptance to ever... Oh, just go to hug this girl. They're so cute. Squeeze her. Okay.
Alright, more life advice.
More life advice. The fastest way to get chores done is to think of them like doing favors you're doing for someone you love. Do the dishes so your loved one doesn't have to. And this actually is a lot of the chores that I do, because I know Whitty doesn't like doing the specific ones that I don't mind doing. So that's the reason that I do, I think, most of the laundry. The sink one is because Fix doesn't like doing dishes, I think, more than that.
I used to do the dishes, but apparently I sucked at it when I was younger because I got called out multiple times for doing it badly.
By your parents?
And not like thoroughly cleaning the dishes or something. I can't remember. It was my parents or someone. And so now I just feel really self-conscious doing the dishes. But I'll do them. Yeah,
you're willing to do them? I feel like I'm the one who cares the most about the sink being empty, though. But alternatively, consider doing things today as a favor to your future self, who is under a lot of strain and really forking wishes you had just done the goddamn laundry. For me, it's more of a I'm a big fan of the tricking yourself into doing things method. I'm not going to do the whole such and such that I need to do. I'm just going to do a little bit of it, and that eases me into starting. And then once I've started, momentum builds, and then you just keep on doing the thing.
When it comes to cleaning up areas in particular, there's this one thing that I was taught when I was like 7, and it's stuck with me ever since, and it's called the elephant method.
What?
And I don't remember why, but it involves making piles. So you just go through your space and you make, I think 3 piles. You pile it into trash. Just go through, pick up all the trash that needs to be thrown away. And then you go pick up all the stuff that needs to be moved to a different room. And then you go through and you pick up stuff like laundry I guess that needs to be moved to a different room.
I mean, it depends on if it's clean.
Yeah, but it's such a nice way to split up the task. And it's a good way to trick yourself into doing the work, too, because, how hard is it to pick up trash? Anyone knows how to pick up trash.
It depends much trash is in your room.
It's straightforward.
It's got hints of Marie Kondo's method of doing things there. I like that.
Yeah, but it came, I don't know how
I do
long
wonder
Marie
why it's
Kondo's
called...
been. I don't remember.
Elephant.
I'm going to have to look it up. I remember it was just one of those, they printed it out with a cute elephant clip art and gave it to me because I was an ADHD piece of not very good at managing myself for most of my childhood.
There.
I have journal entries from first grade talking about my new Ritalin prescription.
I can't remember the oldest journal entries I have, but I'm pretty sure that they don't exist anymore. Once upon a time, they're probably somewhere on some hard drive, because all of them that I've ever done have been on computer. I've never actually had a physical journal, because I kind of despise writing physical stuff.
Yeah, it sucks.
But where was I? I was here. Okay. Always return something borrowed in the same or better condition than when you got it. I'm not sure how you return things in better condition than when you got them, but unless you're like repairing them or something.
Yeah.
Like that seems
or,
like weird and hard to do.
You know, if you borrow someone's car, clean the car up.
Okay. See, borrowing cars is like, yeah. I would not want to lend someone a car.
No.
I would be, it's like, what if it comes back dead?
Yeah, or like fill it up with gas before you return it kind of thing.
Speaking of, this is 2 down. But gas and booze must always be replaced in equal or greater amounts than what you took.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the gas one seems super obvious. The booze one, I mean, is good general advice, but I also feel like, what if they're gifting you the booze instead? That's a thing. Because like the one after that immediately, it's like, you don't have to replace food freely given, but if you're going to help cook, you better help buy the supplies. Huh. I always like it bit from the reverse. Like, if you're not going to help cook something that you're going to be eating, I would prefer you help buy the supplies. If you're going to help cook, then I mean, that's like whatever. I'm not sure I 100% agree with this life advice. Or either that or I'm just interpreting it wrong, maybe. But yeah. 2 up, which I skipped over.
As opposed to, hey, I want to make some food. Can I take all your supplies and make food?
I mean, sort of. Like, again, if you're sharing it with the person, like if you are making food for someone else, then yes, I feel that they should be involved in the buying of ingredients process. But if you're going to get none of it, then yes. But if you're going to have some, then I don't mind, like, if I'm going to have some, how do I phrase this? If I'm making food, but I'm making it for me and someone else, and that other person is helping make it, I don't mind buying the ingredients as much as if they're not helping. Then I feel like I would want them more to help buy the ingredients or some such, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm strange. Okay, so failure is good as long as you learn from your mistakes and evolve to avoid the same failure in the future. Link cake? Yeah, like when I made the link cake and I had all those failures. But it still turned out well and I learned a lot. I'm wondering if the next one I should do should be the cake experiment. Because that wouldn't be too expensive either.
Yeah.
And it would be a fairly long thing. And I think it could turn out with a lot of different results. Would I want to get a bunch of... I feel like I would want to turn these into cupcakes maybe. Just because it would be easier to have like a bunch of different ones and be like, oh, just have a little bit.
Reasonable.
They would cool off sooner, could taste test them faster. But yeah, maybe that'll be on Tuesday/Wednesday/ probably not Thursday. I like having a day between streams. Ooh, this one's fun. You suck, and no offense, but should be used in a playful manner. Yeah, you should probably not seriously tell people that they suck, though people can suck in a fun way. That probably sounded worse than I meant for it to mean, but that's fine. If you're going to do something crazy, go all out. Forget embarrassment and just leap for it. I feel like that's the entire premise of this food stream. Oh, well, the book too, yeah, I mean, for sure. Don't be afraid to do crazy things. Society's normal is forking boring, and crazy things are easier than they seem.
This is true.
I think that some crazy things are difficult, especially with like really elaborate thoughts on what crazy things you want to do. Embrace passion and stubbornness. Those traits get stuff done. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very true.
Greg Hampton. Hello, Greg Hampton. Hey, buddy. Just wanted to say hi. Playing some video games with friends, but hi. Well, hi. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope that you beat them at these games, because you're mighty, and they're not, presumably. I don't know. Maybe they're better. Maybe I don't know. It depends with the game. We need to play more Smash Bros. Did we ever play Smash Bros? We should have if we didn't. It's cooperative ghost hunt. Oh god, you're playing Phasmophobia. Talk to Guinea about playing Phasmophobia. She will be all for yeppers. Okay, explain to me, because this is a thing.
Enjoy your ghosting.
I've played, I think I'm at level 70 something right now. I've gotten to the point where it's like I feel like I've done everything that the game has to offer right now. Until they do an update where they add more stuff.
Clearly, you have to start
feels
dedicating
so
your time to
repetitive now.
Your other players.
No, that's what Circle does.
When you run out of objectives, you need to just start making your own.
Okay, I mean we could. A picture of a ghost that might kill you is only worth $10.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I mean, there's a multiplier depending on the difficulty level you're playing at, but still, it's like, I'm not going to go risk my life for $10. That's not smart. That's not worth it. Not good. Though, incidentally, I still have not died in the game, so that must mean I'm doing it wrong. If I haven't played risky enough to die yet.
Attempt to kill yourself and everyone around you.
I mean, you can't control everyone else. I don't know how I'm going to trick everyone else into getting killed. Some of them are far too...
Really, you need to start innovating and also sowing dissent among your teammates.
I think... Well, for comparison, Circle...
I'm talking Vix right now.
Because when... Not yet.
Channeling her.
I don't even know if she could do it. Because the thing is that, again, like I said, I'm level like 70 something. Circle, who has played the most, is level like 1,000 something.
Oh.
It's crazy. Like, I cannot fathom playing the game that much to get to that level.
You can't fool them.
The beta's been changing up some things in game. Like, okay, they've been changing things, but they haven't really seemed to be adding things. Like, they've changed the way that the mechanics have worked to an extent. Like, now they have, like, when you first go into a building on professional, the electricity's off, so, like, the temperature thing doesn't work right away, which seems more just frustrating than a new thing. Like, I can appreciate, like, oh, if the power goes out, then the temperature drops, and it's harder to detect the ghosts based on the cold thing. But, like, my big problem with the game right now is that it's so inconsistent to freaking detect the ghosts in the first place anyway. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the inconsistent nature of doing a thing and not having it always provide the results it's supposed to.
Can I eat the tiny ball?
The what?
The tiny ball?
No.
Oh.
I mean, if you really want to,
Okay.
but I was going to dunk it and stuff, and then you could eat it then.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not a bad game. It's not unenjoyable. I just, at this point, I've played enough of it that I'm like, I want newer, fresher stuff. Shrug. Just my opinion. I'm glad you're having fun. Try not to die. Don't get eliminated. And if you keep on lurking, I super appreciate that. Where were we? Okay. This one, I don't know if this is life advice. This seems like another fact, and it seems weird, and it's probably true, but the crumbly texture of real taco meat is made from cow cheek muscles.
That's disgusting.
But is it true?
No lurks.
Do I have... Oh, I don't know. What does that do?
What is it supposed to do? Is that a thing that's connected to Nightbot? Because I haven't set up Nightbot yet. I probably should. I know that a bunch of people that stream that I follow have Nightbot stuff associated. I just haven't bothered to do it yet. Maybe because I don't understand just how powerful all of his stuff is. The main thing that I want Nightbot for is all the quote possibilities. And I don't even know how to do that enough on like the streams where I have mod privileges to be able to do stuff. That's how noobly I am at Twitch.
We'll have to figure it out.
I get, yeah. Research up on it. Being able, see this one here is me to a T, and one of the reasons that I like doing the stream. Being able to provide food for your loved ones is a badge of honor. Cooking skills are important. 100% agree. I have this weird compulsive need to feed people. It's bizarre. Like, I'll be, like, before the corona times, I would be, like, just walking down the street because I walk a lot. And I'd pass by people now and then. And I remember one time there was, I think, this family that got off a bus, and I don't know if they were hard up for money or something, but they're like, hey, do you have money to buy my small children something to drink? And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. I would hate to be in the position where I had thirsty children who couldn't have anything to drink. And so we went to the nearby convenience store, and I got them some frickin', I can't remember what it was. It was something. And they were appreciative, and it was great, and everybody had a wonderful time. Here's a fun story. And I realize this has nothing to do with cooking specifically, because I didn't make any of that stuff, but I tried to find a way to provide it to the people. There was a time Fix and I were coming back from Walmart. It was a Walmart that had a McDonald's in it. What a good boy. Oh, yes, thanks, Mom. I appreciate that. Oh, you got affiliate yesterday? Congratulations. Affiliate is the way to be. High five. I just, as of the other day, got my first emote confirmed. So now, if you're a subscriber and you go into the chat and you type Sinn link cake, you get this cool little guy right here. Yeah, so cool. But yeah, so we were coming out of Walmart. Why, thank you. Oh, you were enticed by that link cake, weren't you? Oh, Good try. I think so. There's one more. You are subscriber number 9, which means there is one more coveted Founders badge up for grabs for whoever wants to be the next subscriber. After that, there are no more. Although I don't know what.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is. I don't know what happens if somebody who's a subscriber of the first 10 stops subscribing. I don't know if then the next person, they don't get a Founders one. But if they were to stop subscribing then subscribe again, does it persist? I don't know. Does it have to be a continual thing? Once again, don't know enough about Twitch to confirm. Yes, that's the first of, fingers crossed, hopefully many. I think we still need another like 6 subscriber points before we can unlock another emote slot. I almost want it to be Goat Mom with butterscotch pie.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Maybe, because that one is another like thing that I've both done video game wise and cooking wise on the channel. So I think it would be appropriate. Yeah, we can feature the dog. Here, let me switch the camera back over to.
Oh, I
No,
was gonna bring her over.
no, you can put her on the floor. You can put her on the floor and then
Say hi.
see, or that works too.
Say hi, Una. Oh God.
Yeah, get her fur all over the place.
Down you go.
So cute.
Okay, Una.
Such an adorable dog.
Sit. Sit. Good girl. Down. Down. Hey, hey.
She doesn't actually really know how to do tricks. She
Hold on.
just kind of goes through all of them until the right one gets
Back
triggered.
up. Back up. Back up. Yeah, no, she knows.
Right into the oven. Go into the oven.
Shake. Yeah. That's a good girl.
She getting any treats?
Oh yeah, let's get you guys some treats.
Hopefully the 2 dogs will not fight.
Oh, that'd be a great thing to show on.
They have a tendency to do that sometimes, which is not the best thing in the world. But okay, yeah, the Walmart story. Okay, so once upon a time, Fix and I were leaving a Walmart. McDonald's and the Walmart. I had gotten, I can't remember why I got the specific amount. I had 3 sandwiches. I remember that much. It was relevant. Shillelagh! Shillelagh is the thank you so much. Oh my god, both of you are amazing. And then there were 10. And you know what that means? That means in some amount of time, Twitch will actually send me money to help improve the stream. So thank you so much. We're probably going to spend the first amount on, well, either A, a battery for the laptop so I can actually move it around, or B, Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, eat it, doggo. Good dog. Bluetooth cameras so that I can have a better setup and move things around and you can see more angles
Sit.
all over the place. But thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome, and I love you deep down from the bottom of my heart. But now I regret to inform everyone else you can't be a founder until I make partner, because I know partners get more founders badges, and I don't know if those are added on top of the existing ones or if they're any different in any way. But I did read that that was a thing. So that's awesome. Show off your link cakes with pride. Back to the story. Eventually I will get through the story, I promise.
Yep.
So we left the Walmart. I had the sandwiches. We encountered this guy in the parking lot. And he's like, hey,
on,
do you guys have any money that I could use to buy some food for my kids? And I'm like, oh, that sounds so sad. I would, again, hate if I had hungry children that I couldn't feed. So I'm like, well, I got some food here. You could take this bag of food that I was going to have for myself and give it to your kids. He's like, oh, no, that's not going to work. I got 3 kids. I'm like, well, I got 3 sandwiches. He's like, never mind. And he leaves. So very clearly he did not give a crap about the actual food or feeding his kids. He was just trying to get money for who knows what else. Because, like, if you have kids that are hungry, you take the food that is provided by the weird stranger. It was surreal. It was so weird.
No, that happens all the time.
But yeah, there's been other instances, but those are probably my 2 favorite stories of me feeding people that I didn't even know. And if it's somebody that I do know and do care about,
Attempting to feed people.
If it's somebody that I do know and do care about, then I will go to weird, strange, extreme. There was this one time I tried to make pho. Nordic Queen, you still here? If you are, then that's cool. But like, there was one time I tried to make pho from scratch, because I knew that it was her favorite meal. And the first time I tried to make it, it turned out okay. When I tried to make it on the day, it turned out not great at all. I think because I burned the aromatics. So we ended up getting Texas Roadhouse instead. But I tried. And that's the point. Haven't tried since. I think it's one of those things I think I just prefer to buy pho, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe someday we will revisit the pho asco. and actually do a phenomenal job at it. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
you need to have a channel points thing of make a really bad pun.
I think it would be more likely to have a channel point thing to don't do any more puns, please.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because-
Either one of those would be great.
Because puns are like my brand, yo. Can't get away from them. Yeah. So cooking skills are important. All right. Next, feel free to disagree with someone's opinion. That's a good one.
I need to learn that
You're
one.
entitled to your own opinion. You don't have to agree with people that you don't agree with. That's how being an individual works.
And caveat to that, well, not caveat, but corollary.
Maybe axiom.
You can disagree with someone's opinion without being an asshole.
Also true.
It's very possible to do.
Yeah.
It takes much more skill and tact and social aptitude to respectfully disagree.
Being civil is a lost art, I feel.
Which is why assholes like to poo-poo it, because they don't want to admit that they're just bad at being social.
You know, there's this more Guinea stuff. So we've been watching season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race very, very slowly because much to her protesting, I don't watch like a whole bunch of episodes back to back with her. There's this one person on the show who's just kind of a huge bitch, but continually played it off like, oh, this is just the way I am. This is just who I am, like my personality. It's like, if your personality is you are abrasive and hostile to people, maybe you need to do some soul searching and like become a better person. Using this is just how I am. This is just how I am to excuse not great behavior, and we're gonna get to more of that if we can. This is blowing right by. We only got 20 minutes left to wait on our frozen stuff.
I keep interrupting you.
Maybe, but that's fine. That and awesome, wonderful, majestic people keep subscribing and saying wonderful things and just filling my heart with joy. But we'll get to that. Don't you worry. Next up, free speech does not mean freedom from consequences of what they've said. Yeah, if you say dumb things, be prepared for people to, call you out on it. Yee? Yee? What are we yeeing? Oh, the fact that I love you? Deep down inside? Yes. Yee to that. Oh, this one's also good. There are wonderful people with stupid ideas and hateful people with brilliant ideas. It's true. So if there's somebody that's hateful, they may still have a good idea. Like the things they say may still make sense and be
funny. It's like
worth
things
doing.
aren't black and white.
It's crazy. How many shades of gray are there? At least 50. At least 50 shades of them. Pretty sure. People change. This is good. It is also very frightening, but trust me, it'll be all right. Yeah, the only constant is change. Impermanence. Oh, Buddhist philosophy. Duh. Impermanence is something that I am very gradually getting more comfortable with in terms of someday death happens.
You'll
Man,
get there.
getting deep and existential up in here. Speaking of existentialism, life is a nature hike. When you whine and wait eagerly for the end, you'll miss the entire point of walking.
That's why my favorite game is called Journey.
Oh God, Journey's so great.
Yeah.
Should replay that. Could play that on stream sometime. You know, it'd be great if we could figure out a way. I don't know how to do this or how many attempts it would take, but like get it so that we were playing with each other, like.
That'd be wonderful.
And then it's like, oh, you're not playing with a stranger. You're playing with someone who's in the same room as you right
But
now.
that kind of defeats the purpose of the game.
I mean, maybe. I do love when you're like just with a random stranger, and then like you get to the end, and you both draw hearts in the sand. It's just like, oh, so good. Here's what: if you're lost, ask for help.
Or Google.
That is asking
Google
that's asking a computer for help. So, but yeah, don't just try to do things. If you have no idea what you're doing, don't just try to muddle through, because that will probably not end super great. Although sometimes experimenting with things is not a bad idea, like cooking. If you get the chance to do something that terrifies you, do it. Gotta caveat this with sometimes, maybe, not all the time. It depends what it is. But if it's something that you're afraid of that, like, you don't need to be afraid of, that won't harm you.
Or something you want to do.
Or, yes, if it's something that you want to do that you're scared to do, then yeah, don't let fear stop you. Like, step out of your comfort zone to live your dreams and stuff. That is good advice. Compliment people for things you actually admire about them. If you notice they have great teeth, tell them, no matter how awkward you feel about it. I feel like genuine compliments are a good thing. Not like, insincere flattery and stuff, but and not saying nice. Well, I guess that's probably the point of flattery: saying nice things to someone with the expectation or hope that like something will happen because of it.
That's flattery.
Just complimenting, saying something nice about someone just because it's a thing that's there to say a nice thing about. Good advice.
Sometimes I worry people think I'm a creep just because I compliment them randomly, but it's still nice, and I can tell that they are like happy about it. Usually.
Yeah, there are people who find it challenging to accept compliments gracefully. I think there's a lot of people who are trying to get better at that without depreciating themselves immediately after getting complimented. I know that sometimes, but it's work. We're all works in progress. It's okay. Change happens. It's okay.
Aww.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank
You are not a creep. You're amazing. I love you. Related, kind of, sort of, maybe in a way. Don't assume that other people know how you feel. Most relationship problems are born from misunderstandings and assumptions. Could not be more true. Long ago, I came to the conclusion that the vast majority of conflict arose from misunderstandings between people. Because, ultimately, I think we all want similar things as far as, like, just being appreciated and, like, being understood. So, like, going out of your way to try to understand people, I think, is a good thing. And again, understanding someone does not mean you have to agree with the thing that they think and feel. But understanding where they're coming from, I think, is important. Like,
I'd say that most relationship blow-ups happen because of misunderstanding. Because if you understand them and you disagree with them, then you say, okay, we disagree. Maybe this means the relationship can't continue, and so we will amicably depart.
or at least maybe, like, the relationship will not continue in the form that it is.
Right, yeah.
I don't know, like, if you're not in a relationship with a capital R relationship, like, you could still
Whatever
be
that relationship may be.
You don't necessarily have to cut them out of your life entirely. Unless, of course, they pretend to be somebody to catfish your girlfriend, and then you cut them out of your life entirely.
Oh.
Good times. All right. Here we go. All right. However, there are some, and I'm going to modify this a little bit. Oh, it's just people do the stupidest things to try to fit in regarding conflict arising from common human feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story. That story will never not be funny. It's comedy is tragedy plus time. Enough time has passed since that horrible ordeal of being with that person has happened that it's funny now. So, but this connects to that. There are some people who actually are poisonous and spread their misery, hate, and anger. Be aware of this. I want to rephrase this with: I don't think people are poisonous or toxic. I do think that people's behavior, it can be poisonous and toxic.
And I think that a person that is really healthy to another person or group of people can be awful to someone else.
Yeah.
And sometimes groups of people just can't really interact well, but they're going to be great for somebody else.
Yeah, the phrase "you're not everyone's cup of tea,"
Yeah.
I think fits. It's like different people will get along better with some people than others, and will appreciate things about some people more than they'll appreciate about other things about other people, and that's okay. Like, you can't make everyone happy. You shouldn't try to make everyone happy. And not making everyone happy, there's no shame in that.
Like, for me, I used to behave very differently than I behave now. I've changed a lot in the last 10 years, and this was really exemplified for me when I went back to and hung around some of my old friends who still behaved with the same dynamics that we all used to get along really well using, that I decided to move away from and go into a different behavior style. Now my more assertive style really, really made them uncomfortable and really messed up their dynamics. And so I eventually decided, this isn't good for either of us. And so now we don't interact as much because they're happier in their own way of communicating and relating, and I'm happier with my way of doing things, and we all just get along separate from each other.
Knowing who you're talking about. Oh.
Right, someone not appreciating you doesn't mean you're not appreciable. Yes, yeah, appreciable. That's
And the
how
thing
you pronounce
is
the
that if I were still back in that old place, in the old situation, if I were still in that social dynamic, my current behavior would be really bad for me and everyone else, and it would hurt me. And so it's not necessarily a case of right or wrong.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of bringing it back to the Buddhist stuff, the parable of the raft.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so there's things that you may, like behaviors, beliefs, practices, etc., that at various points in your life are gonna be beneficial to you and help you out and so on and so forth. And then you may reach a point in your life where that's no longer the case. And there's nothing wrong with leaving those beliefs or practices or behaviors behind. And doing so doesn't mean that they weren't beneficial and useful and helpful and good and important in the past. It just means that you no longer need them.
Yeah.
And so you don't need to keep carrying them around arbitrarily just because at one point they were important. So, like, learning that was like, oh, that is really, really good advice right there.
Yeah.
Super
It's
good.
hard to let it go too, especially when you've placed a lot of your identity on it and maybe even argued with people about it in the past. But you gotta just decide what's most important to you is being healthy and happy or proving yourself right and immutable forever.
Yeah, right and immutable forever. That's the title of my autobiography. So this next one I'm going to preemptively disavow, even though, again, it is true facts technically. The best way to drain a body of blood is to hang them upside down and slit their throat while they're still alive. Gravity and a still beating heart will do the rest. Disavow.
That is how you...
But slaughtering animals, isn't that a thing?
That's how you make kosher meat.
Oh, really?
I believe, is you have to slaughter them while they're alive to get the
Well,
most
everyone's
blood out.
technically slaughtered while they're alive, right?
I mean, you have to beat them while they're alive.
There we go.
If I recall, I may be wrong. I was under the impression that this was the case, and people were getting into a big fuss about it for understandable reasons.
I don't know enough about what makes something kosher or not to 100% say that's true, but that sounds like a thing that I've heard before. Or at least
was
part of the process.
Doing research on chicken processing.
We also do
maybe
research
a
on
little bit.
delicious Hebrew national hot dogs. So good. More relationship advice. And the most important thing in a relationship is showing that you appreciate your partner.
Oh, I know you do.
I'll hug you while I read the rest. This usually makes them feel great, and they appreciate you in return. A huge loop of happiness.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works. This one looks like it's connected, but it's not. The way that this is formatted. Though, who knows, it could be semi-related. Find a food that makes you mouthgasm, consume regularly. That's just good advice, I mean.
In moderation.
Yeah, I guess, if I have to. I ate too many cookies yesterday, but I am proud of it. I have no shame in all those cookies. They were delicious.
I ate a party-sized bag of Cheetos and had horrible indigestion for 24 hours
Yes,
straight.
there was some regret on her part.
Yes.
Actually, the cookies, they were a salted caramel chocolate cookie, which was so good. It makes me want to try this recipe that I saw on Mythical Kitchen where they made potato chip chocolate chip cookies and added like the saltiness to the sweet of the cookie. Like, I've never made a sweet and salty cookie, but that sounds amazing, and it tasted amazing because I had one. But like, I want to make one now, so that'll probably be a thing that happens at some point. Do silly things for the hell of it. It's another thing that is just indicative of me, really, and you.
Aww.
You're pretty silly sometimes.
All on the
Well,
last
most the
page
time.
of advice.
Well, last 2 pages. There's
Last
still
2
so much.
pages
There's
of
no way
advice.
we're gonna get through all this in 8.5 minutes.
If you speed read and
Yeah, if I speed read. But I like commenting on stuff. Learn to dance. This is important. You don't have to be a master of tango, but pick up a style and figure out the basics. Having control over your body and being able to deliberately express emotions through body language are closely entwined. I don't know if I know how to dance, but I have been known to dance for long periods of time on dance floors before.
remember, teaching to dance is the same as what is it?
Oh,
Loving
jeez.
dance.
Good Lord. No.
Can I tell the story, please?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So
Go
this
on.
morning I was on the ex-Mormon subreddit because I go on there sometimes for the funny memes, and someone was posting about how they they posted a video of themselves dancing. They're a dance teacher and talked about how their bishop, they went to their bishop about their husband cheating on them, and the bishop told them that, well, she likes to dance, which, if you think about it, is just as bad as cheating on someone. Like, loving to dance is just as bad as loving another man, and she needs to repent of that and be more committed to her husband instead of dancing. And so down in the replies, someone, she had posted this video of herself dancing because she's a dance instructor, and someone said, wait, you posted a video of yourself cheating on your husband on the internet? I knew there was a girl that was my roommate in college at BYU, and apparently this was a common thing in
Dancing?
the BYU dance group, because they had this dance troupe, which is very, very hard to get into, and my roommate had worked her butt off to get into it. Apparently a lot of women, as soon as they get married, their husbands would get jealous of them and basically pressure them into dropping out of this thing that they worked so hard to get into, because it made them uncomfortable to see their wives expressing themselves through dance.
That is so freaking weird. Like,
all
okay,
right,
first off, I want to say, if you have if your significant other is a dancer, and you have a problem with them dancing, maybe they're not the best fit for you. Don't force them to stop dancing.
No.
Jesus Christ. You can also pick up a sword and learn how to use that.
Let's do that.
My God, yeah, that would be fun.
I'd love to do that.
That's also about the thing is, and this is one of the things that I hate the most about the whole quarantine situation, and look forward to getting that vaccine as soon as possible. I want to go to an arcade and DDR again.
Yeah.
DDR is my form of body control, and I love doing it, and I miss doing it. I want to, like, we have stuff that we could kind of do it here, but the pads aren't super great, and like, it's just like, I just want to go to a real, or better yet, buy my own arcade setup and just have it in my house. That would be good as well. I would love that. That would be fantastic.
No. It's not insecurity, because they prayed about it and God told them that their wives
I hate this.
need to.
I hate it so much. Like, I don't. Okay.
All right, life advice.
Here's what I find. No, we're not done yet. This is going to keep going. Okay, so people who know me know that I'm not hugely fond of talking about politics. That said, the other thing that you're not supposed to talk about is religion, and I will talk about that all the time. Like, if you have it, and I will say, like, for a long time I've not had a huge spiritual center or focus in my life. I feel like with the getting more ingrained in the whole Buddhist mindset, even though, like, I wouldn't say that I am Buddhist necessarily, but like learning about the concepts and
practice.
Like, I practice
concepts
mindfulness.
Of it.
Like, yeah, it's a good thing. But like if someone is religious and the religion is important to them, that's great. But if someone asks me what I feel about religion, I would be more than happy to tell them that I think that the vast majority of it is just complete garbage. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Again, you don't have to agree with my opinion on that, and that's totally fine. I think there's a lot of good stuff that can come from having something you believe in. I also think that a lot of people use various things in religion to just kind of like excuse not great facets about things they don't want to have in their life.
So funny how God always happens to agree with the person who is running the religion.
Yeah.
It's so weird how that works.
In any case, yeah. So
thank you for being kind to me back when I was hyper.
Oh yeah, it's because you're still awesome. It doesn't matter what you believed, you're still amazing.
Well, no, I was a much worse person back then. But
I mean, no. I mean, not to me at least.
Oh, hey, this is a good one.
Huh? If someone makes you feel like you're worthless, cut them out of your life as quickly and completely as you can. Once again, especially if they are catfishing your girlfriend.
Or a religion.
Or that. Yes, that's another thing. Oh God, yeah. If the group that you belong to makes you feel like you're a worthless person, maybe you're not the worthless person. Maybe they're the worthless person. Do you ever think of that? Think about that for a second. I'm going to disavow this next one too. A hitman can be hired on the black market for around $20,000. Disavow. I don't even know if that's true. I feel like over
maybe
the last
inflation.
Yeah, they might have gone up.
Wonder what
anyway.
COVID has done to the hitman market.
I mean,
I'm curious.
All they have to do is cough on someone now, so it might make it
true.
cheaper.
This one also true. The anticipation of something bad is often worse than the actual event.
That is very true. That is my whole life.
This is also why whenever I had to give presentations, I would always try to volunteer to go first so I could just get them out of the way, and then I didn't have to anticipate them
Next
anymore.
one.
Not always, though. Sometimes the actual thing is worse.
All right, we got 2 minutes 47 seconds.
Yeah, we're not going to finish. Thank anyone who makes you feel good about yourself. Thank you for
thank
making me
you.
feel good. Oh, mutual appreciation. If you're happy, show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That is one way to show it. Or, smile. Or, say I'm happy. Or tell the people that you appreciate the thing that they did that made you happy. Once again, thank people for making you feel good about yourself. If you want someone to pay attention to what you're saying... I don't know if I disavow this one, but it's interesting and funny. If you want someone to pay attention to what you're saying, challenge their dominance. Make eye contact. Stand straight. Hands clasped behind you and shoulders back. Enunciate. Act like they should be deferring to you.
I mean, having confidence is very important. I will say
Don't be demeaning to people, but yeah, being confident and more assertive than I tend to be most of the time.
the counterpart to this is the one thing that is quoted by a street epistemologist, which is the moment that someone's respect is challenged in a conversation, the conversation ceases to become about the original conversation topic and becomes about respect until you can reassert respect.
I'm unfamiliar. Like, this sounds like it makes sense, but I don't think I've heard this before.
Yeah, well, you haven't read about street epistemology.
That's also true. Conversely to the previous point, the fastest way to make someone ignore you is to act and speak like your opinion isn't important.
True.
See, be confident in the way you present yourself, and people will assume you know what you're doing.
True.
So true. Like
You can do so much.
Like, if you just act
This
like
is
you're
Robin's
supposed to be
entire
oh my god, it
character.
is.
Yeah.
Robin just pretends like they're supposed to be where they are, and people don't question it. And that it usually depends on the situation. Though social engineering, if you have you
have so many stories about social engineering.
a lab coat, a hard hat, and a clipboard, you can get into pretty much anywhere if you act like you're supposed to be there. Savor your food. Eat food worth savoring. Yes, eat. Don't just wolf your food down, because then it's like, don't take the joy out of the eating process. Like, eating is a pleasure-filled thing, which I think is another one of the reasons I like making food for people, because I like giving them pleasurable experiences in their mouth.
And I will say, we're almost out of time.
We got like 15 seconds. Go ahead, say
I was going to
things.
say that people like to poo-poo dieting and say that, it means you can never enjoy anything ever again. But for me, having to regulate the trash food or the bad food or the sweet food, having to regulate certain food groups meant that when I did choose to eat them, I made sure that they counted and that they were the most high quality, delicious,
Oh, it's right here.
rare foods that I could get my hands on. And as a result, I ended up really, really enjoying them a lot more than I did, instead of just, mindlessly inhaling a bag of potato chips in front of the TV and not even realizing that I did it, I gained so much more appreciation by being deliberate about what I was eating.
Being deliberate about most of your
Being deliberate
actions,
is a good thing.
Yeah, I think is a good practice. All right, so
Do you want me to read more things while you cook?
maybe first I want to read the next phase of the process, because I could basically read the rest of the actual recipe, because it's the steps happen pretty concurrently with each other. All right, so all right, so while the balls are chilling, use your powers of persuasion to obtain a bag of chocolate chips. Dark or semi-sweet chocolate chips are forking delicious in this recipe, but milk or even white chocolate will achieve similarly orgasmic results. Melt these chips in a double boiler. Microwave them in a glass bowl. Use your laser vision on them. Whatever it takes to get these puppies melted, do it. I'm going to be using the double boiler method. And this is actually the part where I'm going to pay better attention to the heat while I do it. Oh, God, what was it? I should double check it. Because I looked up at what temperature various chocolates start to seize at. I think for dark chocolate it was like 110? Something
That's
like that.
not hot at all.
It's not, yeah. Or was it? That one might have been white chocolate. But yeah, it was in the lower hundreds for sure. So we're gonna be where did I put it? We're gonna be using this sucker right here to make sure that our chocolate does not get too hot. And if it does, we're gonna take it off the heat and do stuff there. Yeah, it'll be fine. See, because I always thought or assumed, oh, if the frozen Oreo balls are making it seize because it's cooling down the temperature. Probably not so. Probably not that at all. Maybe, I don't know. But I figure if it cools down, I could always just remelt it. But if the problem is it's getting too hot, then probably there's not very many ways to save that, aside from letting it cool completely and then trying to remelt it or something. Anyway, okay, now comes the fun part. Give those chilled Oreo balls a baptism in the glorious melted chocolate and place them on a large cookie sheet. If you want them to be as beautiful as a spring morning, sprinkle them with a bit of colored sugar. Oh, there's a typo here. Oh, it says a bit if colored sugar. Bit of colored sugar or drizzle some caramel forged from moon sugar and Leviathan tears while the chocolate is still soft. So what we're going to be doing, actually, I still have a bunch of white chocolate from when I made the monster horns for the monster cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt those, and then I'm going to drizzle like artisanal like lines across the top, and those are going to set nicely along with it, and I think it's going to look good and it's going to taste good. Now put those babies right back in their forking freezer fortress of solitude you call fridge until the chocolate is set. Not sure how long that'll take. Probably like maybe half an hour or something. Wait, where'd you go? Well, I guess she doesn't want to read more. Okay, cool. That's fine. Why did I not turn this on? Okay, let's bring this up to a boil or simmer or something. And in the meantime, maybe read a little bit more of the life advice while we wait for that to get to an adequate temperature. Where was I? Okay. So this is interesting because there was that one that's like, oh, challenge someone's dominance to have them pay attention to you. This one here says, don't fight for dominance. Dominance is achieved through words and body language. So I guess that kind of correlates with the thing that they said above. Because they talked about a lot of the body language. It's just like, here we go. If it escalates to physical violence, get out of there. If you can't get out of there, incapacitate with severe pain and try to run again. If pain does not allow an escape route, assume you are under deadly threat and respond with lethal force. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, unless well, I don't know. It's hard to say. Thankfully, I have not been in many situations like that. So, hey, would you like to do the rest of the reading now?
Sure.
Yeah, so we're now on this page.
So what about deadly threats?
Yeah, you can reread it if you want.
Oh, yeah, get out of there if it gets physically violent.
But if you can't get out of there, what do you do, Whitty?
Well, actually, I like this, there's this one self-defense, get out of the kitchen. There's this one self-defense teacher that I really enjoy reading their articles. And one thing that they pointed out when doing women's self-defense is they try and teach the woman, the problem isn't that you hit the guy. The problem is that you didn't completely deck him and incapacitate him when you hit him. Because a lot of times what happens in an assault between a man and a woman is that the woman will do something like she'll slap the guy across the face, and to the guy, she just crossed the line into physical aggression, and so now he feels justified in just decimating her. But if she had knocked him out with that, then there would be no problem.
Okay, 120 degrees for dark chocolate.
If you're gonna physically assault someone, like, do it with intent. Take a self-defense class, don't get a black belt. Learning how to react while in danger is far more useful than learning how to fight in a competition or show. Yes, this is something else that the instructor talks about a lot. A lot of self-defense classes are just there to kind of make you feel like a badass.
Make you do fancy moves.
Yeah, the super deadly jujutsu arts that will incapacitate the 37 ninjas that will come out of the shadows of the alleyway.
37 ninjas?
Yeah.
It's a very specific number of ninjas. Alright, I'm going to rinse this off and use it to stir, I think.
Oh, yes. Another thing. Learn your local weapons laws. take advantage of them. There is... It was fun. My sister and I took a class. We have a gun store that's literally a 5-minute walk away from our house. It's a shooting range. It's very nice.
What?
Yeah. Do you want a pinchy?
Once my hand is dry, maybe.
Or something?
Oh, like this pinchy. Sure.
Yeah, we took a basic gun safety course, and the basic takeaway was there's very little you can get away with and call it self-defense. So be careful around weapons. Okay, on to happier topics. Practice random acts of kindness. Smiling, compliments, picking up something that was dropped. They are small, but they do positively impact people's lives. And it's so true. And it positively impacts your life, too. When you can think, oh, these nice things happened today, and people were able to smile today. And I helped.
Gives you a good feeling to do nice things for people.
Yeah. And you can, like, I've drawn just... Actually, this happened not even an hour ago. I got a random message from someone that I drew a piece of gift. I drew a drawing for them at a meetup. We were all meeting up and just hanging out and having lunch or something, and I drew their character, just 15-minute drawing for fun to make them smile. And they were like, I hung it on my wall, and I've still thought about it, and I wanted to thank you for it. And it's like you never know how someone's day is going, and the tiniest little thing can just make their day.
I remember there was a friend I had in high school who I wrote a thing for them which had some nice things to say about them, and they told me like years later that they still had that thing and that they would read it every now and then when they were feeling not great about themselves.
Yeah.
And it was like...
Yeah, I have a folder on my DeviantArt. It's just a special folder for compliments that people sent. Because they're so nice, and sometimes I'll go through and I'll look at them.
That's sweet.
Here's one thing that's very important. Don't watch news channels. You will only get depressed.
Oh my god.
News channels are not news. News channels are for generating hype and distress.
It's almost like news cares more about ratings than reporting the news.
In the past...
Oh god, this is hot enough already. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Alright, so we're going to put that
in
there.
the past, news channels were held to some public standard. They were expected to be a public service. And so a lot of the times they at least attempted to provide news. But now it's about getting people excited, basically. Positively or negatively.
Negatively, I feel like it...
Negatively is become very prevalent because it's a powerful emotion. Yeah, I've just gotten so much better by not looking at news channels. But the next piece of advice says, knowing what's going on in the world is important. That's what the internet is for. And now that is becoming somewhat difficult to find out what's going on without it being just turned into a hyped up mess. But we try. Yeah, I remember I used to read the news telling myself that I was keeping myself informed, and I would just end up as a wreck every day. It was just so stressful because it was all about how the world is ending. And I mean, yes, the world is terrible, objectively.
Objectively terrible.
There's so much bad in the world. There's
so much good too. You can't just rule out the good things in the world and in life and say it's objectively bad. Can you?
And the good things in the world don't get clicks a lot of the time, so you never see them.
Yeah,
so
but
all you see is this one-sided, scary view. Oh, right. Yeah, watch out for news channels, man. Just because you made a stupid decision does not mean you are stupid. It probably felt like a good idea at the time. Now you know better. Yes, that is an important thing, is to...
Yes, we are not all of our... Like, we're not just the sum amount of the choices and decisions we make, necessarily.
The world is not objectively bad.
Yeah. I feel the world's not objectively bad.
There's a lot of objectively bad stuff that's happening, and it's scary, but...
But wait,
and if
who can
you-
say what is good and what is bad?
If you do something objectively bad, you are not objectively bad because of it. That's actually a great like trigger to pick up on. If you catch yourself saying I am X, that is a great opportunity to stop yourself and go, probably not. Keep an eye out for that pattern and challenge it. Physical demonstrations of love and appreciation are important.
Oh, yes, they are. Well, it's interesting, like the 5 love languages thing, like different people, and this is important, I think, more than anything else, and this kind of goes along with the earlier point about, like, the most important thing is making your loved ones feel important or feel appreciated. So different people feel loved in different ways. So, like, understanding the way that the person that you want to make feel loved feels loved is important. Like, figure that out and do that thing. That's, again, one of the reasons that I do things for Whitty, because I know that her main love language is acts of service. Mm-hmm. So when I do something for her, it's more meaningful to her than when I just, like, give her a hug or something.
And Sinn,
Sames.
Sinn very much appreciates physical touch and affection, and I don't do that very well, but I try to remember that it is very important, and I attempt to show that.
I just want to say that this is going crazily better than normal.
This is.
I think I've discovered the problem I've been making in the past.
That's a good point. Friends can love language as well.
What? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be just like, a capital R romantic relationship. Like, anybody that you care about that you want to make feel like you appreciate and care about them, like, they're going to have a different way that makes them feel appreciated. And learning what that is and how to make them feel that way is good.
Shalila has informed us that those look like pro balls.
Pro balls? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm very professional about my balls. About my chocolate covered balls. Oh, you know what would be great? Putting like a little bit of salt on these might be good.
Oh, that could be.
But I don't know. Should I put?
Little sprinkles of kosher salt?
Little tiny sprinkles of kosher salt underneath the white chocolate.
No, we should
that I'm gonna put on.
Yeah,
the white chocolate's gonna happen after this.
Well, we should do it while the chocolate is still.
Exactly.
Here, let me do it really quick.
Do it. You got this. I don't want to get more chocolate on top of, on this mitt. I got a little bit of chocolate on one of them, and I was like, no, but most of it washed out pretty well.
That's good.
Like, it's hard to tell where it was, I feel. Oops, sorry.
All right, just the tiniest sprinkles. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see, what else? Yes, set ridiculous goals, then work out smaller goals that act as stepping stones to reach it. That is very, very important.
Good advice for goal. Even if the goal that you have isn't ridiculous, like, in order to get to any goal, you have to have a path which involves sub goals to get to them.
This is one thing that's very important to ADHD people as well. I'm diagnosed ADHD. I think that the diagnosis doesn't matter. I think ADHD stuff applies well to anybody. Break down your goals into subsets so small that it's impossible to fuck them up. Such as
to fork them up?
The room, or to fork them up.
There you go.
Such as the room cleaning thing. Like, put the trash that's in your room that's garbage into a plastic bag. Like, that's very straightforward, and it's impossible to misconstrue or have or not be able to do correctly.
Yeah, clear specificity is good.
Yes, be very specific. Tiny, lots of tiny little steps. And people will look at you and say, you don't need to make all those tiny little steps.
Like, they're helpful.
But you do. Treat your life like a fetch quest video game that's trying to pad itself out as much as possible.
See, once again, like, this is one of the reasons that I like my to-do lists.
Yeah.
Is that for, like, a lot of people are like, they don't like having such a rigid Just got, did I get? Nope, no chocolate. Nope, a little bit of chocolate. No.
Yay, ADHD rep. Yay.
I'll have to watch that later. But like for me, I like having the structure and the step-by-step, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and then this is going to happen. And like my things might not be categorized into the smallest possible sections, but just having them separated in any way, I think, is helpful and useful.
Yeah, it's fun.
Scrape.
Oh, okay. So second to last, chickens can run around without heads. Make sure to sever the neck close to the body. This applies to all fowl. It's true. It's true. I have not personally witnessed a chicken in real life running around without a head. My mother has.
Oh my.
Her brothers used to torment her.
Oh, that's not fun.
With them.
I'd say that's a little downright rude.
Yeah, it's a little rude. Yeah, but yeah, be kind.
Don't torment people with beheaded animals.
Good. Oh,
That's an official channel advice.
your mom has seen.
Oh yeah, Mom was raised on farms.
Oh man.
Well, maybe not raised on farm, but like, what was it? Every summer you'd go off to some farm somewhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, there is. I remember this. There's a chicken that actually lived for a couple of years without a head. The only reason it died is because it choked on a piece of food that they stuck down its neck.
Why were they sticking food down its
To
neck?
keep it alive.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise, who knows how long it would have lived?
So this means that there exist animals that can live without a brain.
So yeah, zombie chickens are the real threat.
Dude, anyone who's played a Zelda game can tell you that chickens are threatening. Like, that's not up for debate. That's just a fact.
All right. So the last and most important piece of advice is: there is no one in this world exactly like you. You have changed this universe by existing. You have impacted whether someone has lived or died. You personally have changed the fate of humanity by being born.
Bum, bum, bum. It's true.
It is true,
It's true.
even if it doesn't always feel like it.
Put that there. Put this one over here. I think there's just enough chocolate to cover all these. That's fantastic. Mom needs to...
And don't forget the little one.
Oh yeah, that one will be... Well, I'm doing that one last because it's smallest. So it should be the easiest one to coat in whatever's left.
Yes.
Yeah, Mom needs to write about her life, I think.
I think so.
It would be fantastic.
I can edit and help with organization.
Likewise.
Yeah, I know how to publish ebooks. Yeah, it's a very good recipe/advice book. Very good recipes.
A lot of them are simple.
Evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are very
it's just,
no nonsense.
It's just amusing to read too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's honestly the best part about it is just the writing style. It kind of reminds me of Film Crit Hulk.
Oh, I love Film Crit Hulk.
Film Crit Hulk still do stuff?
I haven't checked them out for a while. I think they've been sporadically releasing things, but I don't know how long.
I mean, it's fair that...
They released a screenwriting book, which I have.
Oh? Is
Yes.
it written in all caps?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
But yeah, the fact that there haven't really been as many films that have come out might have something to do with why Film Crit Hulk might have less regular updates.
Film Crit Hulk was and is, I assume, a film columnist who wrote long, very detailed and useful and interesting essays in all caps, a la the Hulk. And very, very good stuff. Now you make me want to check him out again.
Yeah, you totally should. Every now and then you'll remember something that you used to partake in and enjoy and be like, oh, why did I ever stop partaking of and enjoying that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just recently archived a whole blog that I used to really, really get a lot of useful stuff out of because it got deleted, so the only way to access it was on the Internet Web Archive. So I just downloaded everything off
Got all
of there.
this leftover chocolate. How about that? And it didn't seize.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, this whole time, I've been like, oh, I got to keep it warm so that it doesn't re-solidify. Oh, no, apparently chocolate does a wonderful job of staying melted on its own. Don't
Provided
overheat that.
Yeah, provided it's not overheated. Yeah, this was the most painless chocolate ball, and I've seen several chocolate ball-anies, and they've all been awkward and painful.
This is gonna make making chocolate-covered bacon a lot more fun in the future too.
Yes.
Which I honestly think that should be maybe we could do it next. It would be so similar to this though.
Yes.
So, like, I might
that
wait
would be.
sometime.
I think that would be a great idea. Sometime you should make a document of stuff that you need to that you plan to
Oh,
make.
but wait, there's more.
Yeah. So the lesson we've learned is when doing chocolate melting, less is more when it comes to heat.
Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna nuke this, I'm gonna stir it. Let me get a bag to pipe it with. I'm gonna make these guys look fancy as hell. They look so good. If you think they look good now, oh boy, just you wait. Let me get a spoon, actually. A spoon with which to stir. You know what else I like about today, aside from it being simple, as far as the actual process of making things? The cleanup is not all that extensive either. There is not that much that I'm gonna have to clean up, because there were not that many things that were used. Back 30 more seconds. Take this, dump it into the sink. Oh, I still have fries over there, don't I? Oh, I haven't touched them.
You didn't eat your fries?
No, well, because the stream started like right after the food got here, because
tragic.
Vix didn't get it soon enough. Thanks a lot, Vix.
Fix got us Wendy's. I'm very glad. Oh, I need to pay her back.
Need is a strong word, but yeah, you probably should. That would be the good thing to do. All right, and stir. There we go. Now it's getting melty.
It's again he.
Hi again, he. How are you? I've been talking.
all of the advice.
Yeah, we just read the Forking Recipes life advice section. It was super great. But fortunately, you are here and able to see the last crowning touch on these guys. Hello. What do you mean, ah? What are you saying ah for? Do you not understand? Show her the book. Show her the book. Oh, yeah, you could read the back too. There's some great stuff on the back as well.
What?
The back of the book.
This?
Yeah, the hold up. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold up a minute. Could you do me a favor, actually? Liddy,
Yes.
could you do me a favor?
What?
Could you hold this bag open so that I can spoon the white chocolate? This is way too much white chocolate, but like I didn't have any other plans for it, so it's fine.
I'm gonna buy you piping bags.
Yeah, that would be piping bags and fancy tips.
We have some tips, but they're not fancy.
Oh, well, I want fancy tips to do fancy tips for fancy lads. They look nice. You are old and tired. What do you
and me
mean?
Both. Well, I don't.
You're not
think
that old.
I don't think you're old, but you may very well
Younger
be
than me.
tired.
You and Woody are like the same age,
Oh.
practically.
Then
I can't remember which one of you. I think you're slightly older.
September 17th.
Cause like I think I'm gonna feel real bad if I'm wrong about ages, but I think you're the same age, but your birthday happens first. So, all right, come on, will you just cut the thing? Cut the thing. Cut the thing so we can all go home.
I'm the old one. The old one is me.
Oh my god,
You're not old though.
I'm older than you.
But
All
you're
right,
not
so
old.
here's what we're gonna do. We're going to. Is this too? Oh, this is probably too big. But we'll try it. We'll just try. We'll try. Everything will be.
Oh, that's fine. Well, yeah, that's fine.
We're gonna have to separate these afterwards.
They look good.
Doesn't it look amazing?
Yes.
Maybe this isn't too much white chocolate. It probably still is.
It's okay. You can never have too much chocolate.
Once again, this is Sinn focus mode.
Oh, you're not older than Dirt?
Yeah, Dirt's really old.
Dirt's super
How old do you think you are? Da-na-na. Fancy chocolate tear-up in here. And bam.
Amazing. And then it drips forever.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we just put these back in the fridge. Look at these.
They look so silly
Look at these
from
guys.
above.
Look at these awesome
This
guys.
is a Pollock painting.
Jackson Pollock. I feel like I hear someone reference Jackson Pollock paintings like every couple of days.
We need to have a little countdown. It's been 0 days.
0 days since the last Pollock incident. All right. So yeah, so this is what they look like. This is the finished balls. I mean, they've got to freeze a little bit. But yeah, aren't those cool? And they're delicious.
They are
and
amazing.
fantastic.
They're so easy.
And you can put whatever you want on top. Like you can put sprinkles, you can put flecks of colored sugar, the caramel stuff.
And they're just incredibly rich.
Yes.
And that's what makes them
Fantastic.
great. There's no way to really convey how rich they are just by showing them to you.
Yeah, you gotta stick them in your mouth for that. Bam. All right, back to this camera. All right, so yeah, that's I think that's the stream. We made the thing. Unless we want to make anything else from the book. I had thought if there wasn't enough time, which thankfully we had way more advice than the time required. I was gonna read and cook the grilled cheese because we actually have enough ingredients to do that. Some of the other ones was like, oh, I don't know if we have this.
Crack beans.
Crack? What?
You don't know crack beans?
I don't know what crack beans are. No,
Yeah.
Never heard of those.
It has come to my attention
Très riche.
that some a-holes don't know how to make forking crack beans.
That's me. I don't know.
That's a crying shame because crack beans are named for a good goddamn reason.
what? Okay.
Once you try a bite, you can't set that stuff down until it's gone, and then you go into withdrawal and hide in a closet. Well, rip open your shirt and scream at the heavens because this stuff needs to happen correctly.
What? Okay, but it uses beans, right?
Oh, right, you don't like
I'm not a
beans.
big fan of beans.
All right, you can
to
feed
begin
it to
with.
me.
To begin with. Waka 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 waka.
There's this one that uses deer heart.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. Don't need none of that.
Yeah, good book.
I wonder if it's still available
I don't know.
in places. Like again, the vast majority of these things can be found on because I know the Tumblr site is still up, and the master post with links to all the recipes still exists. When I was trying to figure out what do I want to do on Friday, that was actually where I looked at, and I was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I've got the book. I don't need to reference the internet. But yeah, there's more stuff on the actual site than there is in the book. Obviously, the book is finite in size, whereas the internet has infinite space. Or here's what we'll do. Well, first off, I'm gonna finally tell my app.
Did we tell them that everything in this book is all caps?
Oh, I think I forgot to mention that.
Yeah,
it's all
everything
capital.
is all
Which is
caps.
why it reminds me of Film Crit Hulk because of the capitalization. Yes, I'm still fasting, but no, I will not be fasting. End fast. Oh wait, hold on, go back real quick. 26 hours, yeah. How do I feel? I feel good. No, I feel happy. That's right. Bam. Check that out. So now we're just going to pour some of this directly into our mouth.
All right.
Because it's there. And we
Pour it directly
and
on
we
the
like-
floor. Okay, there we go. Gotta get a screen cap of that.
no. Clip that, mofos.
Exploitable.
What? No. No. Not like that. So yeah, that's what we got for you today. I don't know what's going to be the next one that comes up. I do know what's going to be next Friday. I have a friend whose birthday is that weekend, and they have requested that I make
Better pay than feet pics. Yep, you're welcome for that.
Do you want to? Oh, that's what I should do. I should have a channel reward, point reward for shoot some white substance
into Sinn's mouth. We got plenty of mayo.
We do.
And mayo's delicious. I'll drink that stuff all day. But yeah, so friend has asked me to make a dairy-free cheesecake, which incidentally is going to end up being vegan, which fine, but it actually looks pretty all right.
So you know that thing about body language being 90% of communication? You're like, it's gonna be vegan.
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, the crust is going to use golden Oreos, which, for the record, golden Oreo crusts in cheesecake is one of my favorite things. The banana cream cheesecake that I made way back in the day had one of those crusts, and I'm like, this is amazing. So I've always loved that since then. This one calls for it, so yay, good there. We're going to need to go to Whole Foods, and we're going to need to get some fake cream cheese. Don't know how I feel about that, but it's going to happen. And then there was one other thing I needed to get too. Except I put it on the Walmart order because they actually have it there. I think it was the coconut cream. So that should be fine, unless they don't have it and we have to do a substitution. So that's going to be on Friday.
You're
And it's
gonna
going
catch
to be
COVID at Whole Foods?
I mean, you won't. You've got the vaccine, so that'll be fine. Yeah. So that's going to be Friday. I don't know what I might do the cake experiment next time. It sounds like a good thing to do. Then I'll also have a bunch of cupcakes to give out to people, so that'll be fun too. And it won't really require that much stuff. I'll just get 4 of the exact same box cake mix. We have vegetable oil, we have butter, we have eggs. That's all we really need.
Come here.
Here's a weird question about dogs. So dogs can't have normal chocolate, cocoa, because it's bad for them. White chocolate doesn't have any cocoa in it, or cocoa butter and cocoa powder. Different things. Basically, my question is: do dogs die from white chocolate?
I'm not sure.
Oh. So good. Well, I guess we won't feed them it then. It's probably a bad idea.
It's probably just not great for them, regardless of whether they're gonna die. I have a feeling they won't die from it because it doesn't have chocolate.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. All right, so yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Next time, I'll do the great cupcake experiment. I'm gonna have to take stock of what we have here and see if we need to get more things like more tins and such. But that'll be great. That'll be fun and exciting. And then I think there's another birthday cheesecake that I'm gonna be baking sometime after that. I think the next week. I have to double check dates. But that will also be fun. But yeah, that's what we got. Let me see. Yeah, it's that time of stream where I see if anybody that I know is actually streaming, and if they are, then Hey, Ginhee, you're still here, right? Tell me more people to send you to, because you know more streamers than I do. By like probably a fairly decent factor. Yes, hi, hello. Give me your wisdom and knowledge. Dark chocolate. All good.
Shroomy GP. Card Monk. Alright, which one are you going to go to?
I mean, I did ask Ginhee, and Ginhee as a mod is one that I would more readily listen to. I don't know who either of them are, so I'm going to wash my hands real quick because they are covered. They are absolutely covered in various chocolates of a white and brown variety. Cool, I'm going to check Charred Monk. Do it. Oh, he's playing Chrono Trigger. Yes, it's happening. Okay. I freaking love Chrono. For those of you who don't know, Chrono Trigger is like my favorite game of all time. So this is super good. I'm behind this 100%. All right, so let us slash raid, not raise, RAID, CHARD Raid Charred Monk. Boom. Okay. Alrighty. Click the button. Alright, so just want to say thanks again for all of you coming to join this stream today. I super appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate all you wonderful people who subscribed today. Thank you for that. founder gang, rise up. Thank you again, you're awesome. Yeah. So we're gonna raid, and we're gonna say something. We're gonna say Oreo Truffles, and think that listen to me ramble at the end of the stream. I hope all of you have wonderful, fantastic food. Until we meet again, I love you too, Mom. You're fantastic. Yeah, possibly the most important person, because without you, I wouldn't be here. Shifty eyes. But yeah, I'll see you next week 2 more times, and take care.